Okay, so now let's go to CCHL. So we've got Matt and so I saw Sue and Brian's here, and the team are here, and Linda. So item 13, so the Q1 public performance report. Yeah. All right, welcome along. If everyone's good to go, we'll get into it. So welcome and thanks very much for all you do.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and Mr. Mayor and councillors. We do, as always, appreciate the opportunity to update you on the performance of the CCHL group. We're pleased to report a continuation of the strong FY25 full year result into the first quarter of FY26. So things are continuing to track along well. We suggest that we take the report as read, and Matt will speak briefly to it, and then we can take your questions. Thank you.
Yeah, just a note, it's obviously very early in the financial year for us, but at this stage everybody appears to be on track across the subsidiaries. Performance is good. Some highlights, Littleton Port Company with the bulk volumes coming through very strongly. Passenger volumes at the airport, particularly thanks to the growth in capacity from Jetstar and Qantas, is serving us very, very well, and costs managed across a number of entities, and we're on track to pay the dividend in line with our statement of intent. I've talked earlier about Te Puna Manawa and our diversity program, but probably the one to focus on is the Associate Directors program. It says 197. I believe the updated number is we did actually flick over to 202 applicants for the Associate Director program this year, which was well in excess of any previous program in terms of the interest. That in itself causes a challenge and a problem and a workload to work through how you filter 202 down to the 9 successful applicants. But we did that, and last week we kicked that off with 9 very happy associate directors joining for the next 18 months within each of the subsidiaries, also within CNZ, Venues Otatahi as well. Health and safety, the leadership group is a new thing this year, and it is a source of collaboration, sharing of learnings, best practice, and is with council and within the CCHL group, and is performing very well. So we're highly encouraged with respect to that, and really making progress largely with respect to our reporting around our UN Sustainable Development Goals, which aligns our reporting with best practice in terms of our SOI targets, and broadly we're on track with respect to tangible climate action, as we call it there. The challenge there is when that is dependent on volumes and activity, and that particular challenge is related to the port in terms of its Q1 emissions, which really goes to the expansion project that we've previously discussed. In terms of the subsidiaries in aggregate across the portfolio, we're sitting at about 95% on track for SOI targets for the year. Just to call out some challenges, I suppose, in terms of health and safety targets, there were 4 incidents that were notifiable to us across the portfolio. In terms of near misses or injuries, 1 a member of the public, including at Eco Central, and another related to an electric shock injury, and the others related to a contractor. Health and safety remains a key area of focus. Some of the targets are going to be a challenge to meet, partly due to where we've set the targets, but I'll just call out LPC really, and There's a couple in red there with respect to LTIs and TRIFR. We are seeing significant positive improvement on that front, 60% reduction over the last 6 months compared to the previous 6 months. So we measured that on a rolling 12-month average. But it is definitely coming down. And I guess there's a couple of other things there. It's how we manage injuries and return to work associated with that, and the health monitoring going on at LPC as all factors that are going to endeavour to improve that those metrics over time. Just to call out a few things in the media. You probably get sick of me sending your emails, so some of these may not have taken the opportunity to forward on, and we'll do deeper dives into some of these as part of our annual reporting. But if you've flown into Christchurch Airport lately, you've probably seen some of the panels going in. 300,000 panels, I think, is the number, which sounds phenomenal. Cable laying's underway. And the phase 2 planning is also sort of next steps, really, where we go with respect to hydrogen, battery and sustainable aviation fuel is definitely on the planning. Enables Girl Boss sponsorship, supporting young women across STEM, community, enterprise and arts, and really goes to our group metric around closing the gap, the gender gap in leadership. City Care's Health and Safety, Business Leaders Health and Safety Forum. That was established in 2010, and City Care was one of the founding members of that. And there's Peter Lord at the bottom of your screen there, being called out for being one of the inaugural members of that. And one that you probably don't see anything about, but affects all of us, is that Orion automation of when there's disconnections. So automatic, quick power restoration going on behind the scenes there with the use of technology. So that's and we're the first EDB in the country to do that. So yeah, something you never see, and when your power goes off, it'll go on a little bit quicker, hopefully, thanks to that. So yeah, just some success stories from within the group. I'll leave it there and really open it up to questions if I can. Thanks.
Yeah, no, that's really good. And we've obviously got the strategic update later as well, so there'll be questions there as well. So I'm happy to move this. Victoria's happy to second it. Are there any questions? Yanni.
Yeah, thank you. I'm just wondering if you can just give us an understanding of what steps CCHL has undertaken to ensure compliance with the letter of expectation around having good faith relationships, both with the employees and the union workforce at the port. In our letter of expectation,
okay, so
we were
stop,
pretty clear.
Stop.
So,
Yanni, stop. You've asked the question. So
yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to add, Brian?
Well, look, that is very much an operational matter at the port, and we do need to acknowledge that there is that the board is independently governed and managed. We make our expectations to the subsidiaries clear, and those expectations reflect the expectations that Council has with CCHL, and we feel comfortable that those expectations are being met.
right. So can I just ask, in terms of our letter of expectation, we made we set an expectation around maintaining a commitment to a directly employed workforce at LPC, and then not leasing out port operations or any other significant operations involving directly employed staff. Is it your understanding that LPC is still committed to meeting those expectations?
Absolutely.
Great. Okay, so that's been moved and seconded. All in favour? Against? That's carried. Thank you very much for that. So we've got a procedural motion to appoint the Deputy Mayor for